We are live. All right. Cool. I've been thinking I always introduce myself first, and that's not what you're supposed to do at all. So
it wasn't the polite thing to do.
Yeah,
I did it for 65 straight episodes.
I mean, it's Max and Dave.
Yeah, okay, so we'll just go. Producer Sean works the magic behind the scenes.
What up?
JT Money, co-producer. Dave, the Wave.
That's me, I guess.
Myself,
Dave.
Max Van Auken, and now the guest, Mainland basketball head coach Joe Giddens. What's going on, Coach?
We're doing good, doing good.
All right, so obviously there's a lot to talk about. I know you're a big NBA fan, but before we get into NBA, I just want to talk about the Mainland basketball program. All right, we're good.
Yeah, we're good.
So, first of all, what's coming up? Like, tell us so people tuning in, they'll obviously like what you have to say, but what's coming up next?
Well, we have the first playoff game, I think, and they had since like maybe 5 or 6 years, maybe 7 years.
Nice.
Coming up over in Arbordale. We play against Arbordale this Thursday at 7 o'clock. So that's pretty much what we have coming up. And we've just been practicing, getting ready. Yeah.
And it's a regional game?
It's a regional game. Yeah.
So if you lose, you're eliminated. If you win, you go up.
Yep. It was win or go home.
And how is the team that you're facing? I've never heard or saw them before.
They're a scrappy team. They like to throw the ball inside to 6'7" kid. But they're a very beatable team. We've been watching film. I have about 4 different films on the team. So me and my team, we got up this morning at 7 o'clock. We was in the gym watching film, shooting, getting ready. Proper pre-planning prevents piss poor performance. So that's what I'm going to
have to steal that.
That's good. It's a lot different from 15, 20 years ago. Not to have 4 games on a team.
Right.
That's awesome.
I got
That's good.
4
That's
games.
technology.
Yes.
Little throwback. So when I went to Spruce Creek my first 2 years, one of the biggest slogans I took from you and Coach Brink was DTLT, do the little things. I say it in everything I do now. So it's like podcast, do little things. My headphone volume wasn't up. So like it's just those little sayings go a long way.
I still stress that right now today because the little things make the big difference.
Yeah, it's incredible, especially in basketball. It could be just move this way, and it just all of a sudden points get on the board.
And I talk about little things for us like 50-50 balls, taking charges, the stuff that kind of the dirty work, that's part of the do the little things.
So you obviously coached at Spruce Creek High School and had tremendous success there. What prompted you, what made you decide to now change schools and now coach at Mainland High School for basketball, of course?
Well, playing at Mainland High School, having your jersey retired there, when going to the championship, the Final Four 3 years in a row,
that's a lot of winning.
We won like 30. We was 34-0 in Florida, 32-2 one time. So, to be able to, go back to Mainland and coach where you played at, walk the halls, man, it's an unbelievable feeling. You still have teachers there that was there when I was there. When I walk the halls now, I was talking to my wife the other day about this. Like when I was at Creek, when I was around the city in Daytona, nobody used that Creek. But now that I'm at Mainland, it's a big difference.
You're the heart of Daytona.
Yeah, it's hey man, I want my son to come play for you at Mainland. It's just it's.
There's a difference between like a New York Yankee and a San Diego Padre. It's just a different feeling, a different vibe. There's more juice to it. So
a Laker,
there's something to it. Mainland Buck.
And see, the thing is, when I first got the job, I walked the kids in the gym this summer, and I showed them my jersey. I showed them my pictures, and I told them this is tradition. Mainland has a tradition, and before I allowed them to wear Buck stuff, they have to earn it. The summer and fall leagues, we wore red, we wore different colored jerseys. I wouldn't let them wear Mainland stuff till I felt that they earned it. I had Vince come out and talk to them about life, about think before you react, making good decisions, stuff like that. So I have after the season, I got a guy named T.T. Tolliver who jersey retired with me and Vince. He played in the Arena League, played for the Predators and something. He's going to come back and talk to the guys this summer as well. So
it's a Coach Carter moment.
I was going to say 98% of the world. He said Vince, and I know you know who it is. The 2%. It's Vince Carter. He's a pretty good basketball player. If you don't know him,
greatest
Google
dunker of all time.
He's a big deal.
He's Vince to me.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What has your experience been like so far? So you get there, you're trying to create a new culture. So what has it been like so far, and is there any surprises?
Well, the kids are not like when I was there. Most of them are come from the same neighborhoods and area that I'm from, but for as a mindset of work, it's not the same. I don't know. I don't take nothing away from the coach that was there because I thought he did a great job. But one thing I had to do was just teach them about working hard, what it takes to work hard. My mindset has been blue collar. We're gonna be a blue collar team. You know, nobody's gonna know about us. But we're gonna go in there. We're gonna work. You know, nobody's gonna outwork us. We ran hills 4 days a week in the off season. We lift weights 3 days a week in the off season. We was out on the track. We did everything, and I told them, you know, what you're doing now is gonna pay off later. We set short term goals. Conference championship, we won that.
Mm-hmm.
We set another goal to get to the district. We got there, district runner cup. So, you know, just setting little goals. And I think, man, since I've been there, the feeling, you know, the morale of the school is up. You know, usually people are saying like Mainland's football. But when I was there, it was basketball. So now, just get that feeling, try to get it back how it was.
I have a couple things. So, yeah, I have scripted questions for you that I definitely topics I want to hit, but I knew there's going to be something where it's like I could relate or there's a story. And honestly, I'm not going to cry or anything, but this interview means a lot for me because when I first went to high school, you were my coach. So you knew me when I was just very young.
Shrimp.
Yeah, I was a shrimp. I thought I could hoop in basketball class. I used to brag every day. My coach, that's 3 wins my team just won. That's 2 wins. And then you're like, okay. So it's crazy to see now just how much has changed. But to this day, Robert and I always talk about it. He's playing football at Bethune-Cookman. I've gone through different workouts with different coaches. The hardest workout I've ever had in my entire life. Robert and I woke up. We rode bikes to practice, but didn't have breakfast. Like, let's just get this workout in, and then we'll work out later.
Yeah, I threw up.
And he made us run. I don't know what it was. It was just a lap. I'm like, okay. And he's like, okay, the second lap has to be faster. And the third lap has to be faster. And then I'm racing against the fastest people I know, and I'm supposed to beat them. I'm this white kid who can't run like that. So and it was just the hardest practice I ever had. And I was like, I've never questioned if I'm going to quit before. But that was one moment I'm like, holy crap. And to this day, that was the toughest practice I ever had. And same with Robert. Like, it was just to the point, and Coach Tremont, who has a quick first step, he's like, if I beat you, you're going to have to do it again. I'm like, you're fresh. So then, but he kept beating me, so I had to just do like 100 of those.
Sometimes, you know, we do stuff like that as lessons, you know, because one day you're going to be a man, you're going to have a family, you're going to want to quit. But I'm not going to let you quit. I'm going to keep pushing you and keep pushing you until you can't go no more. You know, because one day you got to get up and go to work. If you don't go to work, you can't feed your family. So I'm going to keep pushing you so you can understand what it's like. So it's meanings behind all that.
I was ready to cry that practice, but I
right.
didn't have any water to cry. It was the hardest workout I've ever had.
Yeah, that's cool.
What has your biggest challenge been like? I mean, what you just said, the kids are just different than when you went?
The kids are different. My challenge is, you know, just trying to get the fans back. You know, try to get, because when I was playing, people bought tickets at 12 o'clock in the afternoon.
That's awesome.
No, you had to get there the freshman game, because if not, you had to watch it from outside. We had live video. You can go to the auditorium, the cafeteria to watch. You know, it was like that. And like right now, you know, we was at district championship. We didn't have a lot of fans there like I thought we should. But you know, I think as we keep working and keep winning, you know, more people gonna come. So I think that's my biggest challenge, just getting the morale back like it was before.
I was just going to say, like, about how you were saying about the football and basketball school. That's such a, you know, it is known for, it's a football factory. 10 straight years, it is a dominant football school.
I played.
Yeah. It's like, how do you change that? How do you alter, you know, people's minds or reputations to be like, hey, guys, you know, we're going to get this back into a basketball school. Like, that's just a mindset.
Well, you know, the head coach at Mainland, me and him played football together.
Okay.
So we talked, you know, I know he's one time before, years ago when I was at Creek, he was trying to get me to come back over to Mainland. But it's all timing.
Yeah.
So now me and him speaking, I was just like, you know, he said, I just said, man, it's time for us to get Mainland sports back to where it was, not just football, basketball, all sports. So, you know, he's doing a great job with the football program. Man, it's like every year they send the people Florida State, Tennessee. Yeah. So, you know, it's football factory. So, no, I'm just sit back, listening, learning, you know, observing and stuff, and I can bring some of my expertise over there. And we're gonna have it to where Mainland is the place to be. not just football, basketball, but the place to be. It's the Mecca of Daytona, and that's what we want.
Brian Jenkins got locked in the studio, and my locked in was like, "You're going to get to a college." Day later, newspaper, locked in. He's committed to a college.
Yes.
It's crazy. So if you have the football dynamic, like you just mentioned, and then you have the basketball dynamic, it's just, and then you look like Hogwarts. It's like you look the part, and you can play the part. It's just, it's
like
just
I said,
unreal.
Mainland Gym, you got 3 full courts in there, 3 courts upstairs. It's just, that's the Mecca. That's where you want to be. If you're gonna get a good education, football, basketball program. You play both. It's a sport to be. It's a place to be.
Yeah, I went to the Vince Carter camps when I was young, and it's just like, oh, upstairs, court 3. I'm like, there's an upstairs, and then there's a court 3. And so in practice, do you have them like just run all the courts, or do you just stick them to one?
Nah, we run stairs. We do everything. We run everywhere. We run all over the place.
And that's why they're so fresh with 9 seconds left against Atlantic. And that's how they got that little juice at the end to make a layup at the buzzer.
I dig the gold jerseys, too. When they came out in the gold jerseys, I'm like, okay.
That's real. That was real.
Well, the reason why I did that because when I was growing up, Fab 5, Michigan.
Sure.
You know,
Okay.
that's why our uniforms, the baggy pants. You know, that was our mindset. Yeah, so I went and got the Michigan type uniforms and the gold set. They're Jordan. So next year we're gonna work on getting some more Jordan sets too. But it's nothing like it, man. I'm just bringing the culture back from what I had. I'm just giving it. And every day, it don't be a day go by. I talk to the kids about the way it used to be. I try to bring in old Mainland guys who played. We had a guy from the class of 1967 that went to Mainland, played basketball, that went to the Final Four, come back. You know, so it's being at Mainland, it's so many people like Brown and Brown Insurance, the guy who's Brown, he played at Mainland.
Really?
Denzel Washington went to Mainland, right? You got to get him in there.
Tony
team.
Bobbitt, who played in the NBA, called me every day. Hey man, when are you gonna retire my jersey? You know, so it's just so much. It's just so much history there. I talked to Eric Lewis, Mike Polite. You know, it's just Vince. It's just so many guys I talked to. That's just been a part of Mainland. It's just awesome, man. That's the fun part.
And you played there as well, so it's just your fit. It's just match made in heaven.
Exactly. Man.
I remember you showed me a tape of you guys coming out. The way you walked out. You didn't run. You walked out. You know how when teams get introduced and they're just walking out. I'm like, they just look the part. So I'm like, I always knew you knew how to.
So you know we do that now, right?
I didn't know that.
We walk out. We don't run. We walk. And I showed them the same video. And like when we have right now at Mainland, we have the old court from when we played on. That me, Vince, and all the history. We have that court mounted on the gym, on the wall. Every game you touch it, coming in practice, going out of practice, before game, after game. So we touch that and we walk to half court before we start jogging.
It's like a history lesson before you actually play.
It is because, mainly when I played, it was just a swagger that we had.
Yeah.
It's just a mindset. No matter you come on the court, you're going to have to get it. Just what it was. Like it. So we walk out and we stare them down like, y'all don't know what time it is. So that's what it was.
What was my point? The Golden State Warriors, I know they're the best team of all time in my book, just talent-wise. But that culture wasn't built overnight. They were a team that didn't make the playoffs. People didn't think Steph Curry was legit, but eventually now they have this aura around them that they think happened overnight, but it didn't.
Sure.
So you're creating this culture, but right now even now you're having success, but in a couple of years that culture will then revamp.
Right.
So it's a process. You got to trust the process, right?
It's a process, man. It is. So.
Do you obviously the NBA dynamic, like the game is changing. So even when I was in high school, and I know that was just a couple of years ago, but the three-point shot has definitely played a bigger role. Do you, I almost noticed a coaching style difference in you. Like you're coaching differently and obviously in a good way. Do you make an emphasis on that or do you just, do you coach differently now that the game has changed a little bit?
Yeah, I think as a coach you have to adapt. You have to adapt in the way the Golden State Warriors shoot the ball, and like my 6'8" guy, he probably lead my team in 3-point shot.
Johnny
Brown.
I played with him when he was young at the rec too.
He was 6'6" at the beginning of the season. Now he's 6'8". He grew 2 inches during the season, but he leads my team in probably 3-point attempts and shots. So as a game change, as a coach, you have to make adjustments to the game, and that's something we gonna put up so many shots a day for everybody, because everybody can shoot the 3 nowadays.
Your 2 big men down low, I don't know the name of the center. He obviously looks like he plays football.
He's a 10th grader. He does. His name is
10th grade?
Shane Brennan. He's 16. Just turned 16. He's a 10th grader. He's a 10th grader. Johnny's an
Looks like
11th
28
grader.
years old.
Right.
Mainland's a
And
He's
Johnny is
280.
what?
11th grade.
Going into the 11th, or he's 11th now?
He's 11 now.
Okay, so you're going to have him next year.
I'm going to have him back. Number 3, Rodney Roden. He's 11th grader. Teron Keith, my point guard, number 11. He's a 10th grader.
He can shoot, by the way.
Yeah.
But what's crazy about Johnny is I remember playing with him. I'm like, everyone's telling me that, oh, he's doing this, he's doing that. But what I remember, Johnny, he was very passive-aggressive. He wasn't aggressive, didn't look to score. So when I see these stat sheets, I'm like, he's putting up numbers, and I come to the game, and he lets the game come to him. Is that something you're trying to change in him to be more aggressive? Because if he's more aggressive, his height, his length, and his skill, you can't stop that.
Well, see, they know, most of the players know that I have a history of getting players in school. I have an opportunity to get players in school.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked to Johnny and most of my guys, especially my underclassmen, that have the opportunity. If you want to go to college, this is what you can have to do. You know, I know you have your shot role. You can't play the shot role and go to college. So, so I'm big on trying to help them in the classroom. If I can get them in the classroom, they do what they're supposed to do in the classroom.
Yeah.
I'll do the rest. You know, just take care of what you got to do in the classroom. Everything else, me and my coaching staff, we'll put the film together and send it out where it got to go. So,
Huddle's been a big help with that.
yeah, it is.
It was awesome.
Huddle's great. You know, and I have this guy when I was at Spruce Creek, Coach Spiegel. He helped me with Huddle and doing stuff like that. And he don't coach basketball no more, but he still helped me even though he's at Spruce Creek, helping my team out. And then that's big. You know, he's a great guy. So,
Do you have a question? Or?
Yeah, very close. Going back to that football, basketball, how you were saying the 10th grader plays football. Is that harder to coach football, basketball? Because I know that's a lot of time. Sometimes they go over, or you're like, nah, that if you can do both, go for both.
well, I play both.
Yeah,
so
you're
I'm okay with that.
Okay.
You know, like I said, like my point guard number 11, Teron Keith, he's a football player. He's gonna be the quarterback for the Mainland for the next couple of years, 2 years. And like Shane Brennan, 6'8", 280.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to play football.
Yeah, he played offensive tackle. He just came from Rivals.com and did very well. They did an interview him on everything. So, but I encourage guys to play football. You know, because football, most teams that are really good have football players.
Sure.
When I was in high school, when we went to the championship 3 years in a row, we had 6, 7 football players.
Dang.
You know what I'm saying? Which I was one of those guys. So it brings some toughness to you, different attitude. And the football team already have swagger, so it just makes it all.
I honestly was debating to play football. Rob was trying to talk me into it, but right after he tore his ACL and he didn't play high school his last year, I'm like, I'm not doing it. I didn't.
But that was a real smart move for Rob to play football, though.
He's a beast on the field.
Yeah,
so I'm
I
like,
thought it was.
You stick to the field. You talking about your history, the culture. What makes up a state championship team? Like the team you have now, would you believe that has the ingredients for a state championship? What do you look for in a state championship team?
I think it has the ingredients, but, to be a state championship team is more mental. Basketball, whatever sport, is 90% from the shoulders up.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can change the mentality and the mindset, everything else will follow. So I'm very tough on the guys, and I think we have what it takes. We have size, we got guards, and right now we all new. I'm new to Mainland. I got 10 new guys. We was able to have some success here, but I think we're gonna finish strong. We're gonna make a run this year, but next year, it's
even
possible
better.
it might be even better. So I'm looking forward to it. And like I said, whenever our seasons finish, I'm gonna give them 2 weeks off, and we're gonna get right back in the gym.
Mm-hmm. So is the Atlantic Mainland rivalry now replaced the Creek Atlantic rivalry?
I think so. I got into coaching because of Coach Howard. Coach Howard.
The Godfather.
He was my goddad. He was my PE coach when I was in high school. When I was in middle school.
Wow.
And he gave my first job at Campbell. He gave my first job at Creek to be his freshman coach. I did that for 2 years. Then I was getting ready to go to Mainland to coach with Coach Brink. And then the principal said, "Hey, would you like to be the girls' head coach?" I was like, "Sure." And then my girls' team, we won like 20-some games, 25 games, 3 years in a row. So
it's a healthy rivalry
good,
between
right?
you two now, right?
Yeah, it's healthy, man. Like I texted him after this game, told him good season. He texted me after my game, even when we played each other, good job, So he said I never forget this recently when we played. I texted him, said he said good win. I said thank you. I said I had a good teacher. I said, you got me going. I really appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I think a lot of my success I owe to him because he did help me out with a lot of that. especially coaching-wise.
Two things. First is my favorite memory in high school. This is no disrespect to just Spruce Creek, but I wanted to beat Keyshawn, Nico, and Raekwon. So beating them was just by far the happiest thing for me to do after transferring. And just, I know that because Nico and I had beef back and forth, and he said things. I'm like, okay, Nico. So then we were going back and forth about robbing him. So that was my favorite thing to do, is go against them. And seeing the rivalry between you and Howard was just amazing. It just added another storyline. And then when you transferred, like when LeBron leaves Cleveland, they're the worst team of all time. And it's like when you leave a school and then you go to another school, the immediate success that you have is just a result of how well your coaching ability is. To be able to just switch from Mainland was a good team, but now they're a great team. That quick just goes to show your coaching ability. Like, I just don't know how else to say that. You know what I mean? It's like all of a sudden now Mainland is the rivalry with Atlantic. Like, why is that? Coach Joe just got there. So it's crazy to see. That's all.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's don't get it wrong, man. I miss Creek. It was great for me. Mm-hmm. Creek prepared me for where I'm at. And I thank those the administration, everybody there. But the success I'm having at Mainland is happening quick. I think because I just put some work in. I've been working. Since I got there last year in March. It's just been I've been hitting the ground running. I had a summer league. We had a bunch of teams. I think we played 68 games that summer.
Wow. That's a lot.
Yeah, we played. We went to Embry-Riddle. We went to Florida Gulf Coast. We played with Melbourne. We went everywhere and played basketball in the summer.
Playing better competition.
Playing good competition, And then we just playing. We lost some games. We won some games. But I was as a coach, you get a chance to see what we could do good and what we don't do good. So,
what is your long-term goal as your coach, as the Mainland basketball head coach? What is your long-term goal? When it's all said and done, you can be like, you know what? I wanted to do this, and I did it. What is that?
Make better young men, not just basketball players. Right now I have kids that play for me at Creek. I had a guy named Colin Nepper. He came to watch us play Creek at Creek. My first game back Creek, he sat behind our bench, but I coached him at Creek. He came in our locker room. He came in Mainland and sat on the bench with us. I have a group. I was in a group text with those guys. They text me Happy Father's Day, stuff like that. The relationships I built with some of these kids, man, like Kevin Morviek, Dave Nelson, those kind of guys, Mikey Costello. I built a great relationship with those guys. To hear those guys, Coach, happy birthday. Hey, Coach, happy Father's Day. That's what it's all about. To see them go on. Most of them, two of them became doctors. The other one working at it, selling houses and stuff like that. So for them to go out and be successful, and Nep told the guys the other day, Coach taught me a lot by not by basketball, just by life. So that's that. When it's said and done, they're gonna say, you know what, Coach Joe cared about us more than just basketball. So that's my main thing.
I took that from you. That's probably the biggest thing, is just hard work. And because you told me when I didn't make it my freshman year, you work hard, you're gonna make it next year. And I worked hard. I was just in a weird circumstance. My mom was strict on grades, the IB program, but I worked hard and I did it. And now we do with the podcast. If you work hard and you put in the hours, all of a sudden our podcast is growing. It's just like anything you do, school, academics, anything. So that's the one thing I took from you big time. Right. Was, of course, many other things, but that was the biggest, is just hard work. And it's just incredible to see. I love the rivalry now, and I'm looking forward to going to the games next year. And it's just good games.
Yeah, it is.
Do you got a question?
I was just going to comment on just the impact that you have on the kids, moving forward. Like you were saying, it's amazing. Like, I still have contact with with my third grade teacher through Facebook, and you still have that, and be able to have that kind of life-changing things for those kids. It really it's impactful for yourself as a person, and then just showing how they are. I think it's amazing. It's a testament to what you could do.
And then you got a friend that played in the NBA. I took kids to Vince's house.
He's still playing.
Yeah, still
oldest
playing.
player.
Yeah, and he's still doing his thing.
Yeah.
But to be able to take kids to his house and
Famer.
practice at his house, they get a chance to talk to him, because my Creek kids used to talk to him, and then some of my Mainland kids, that was their first time ever seeing him and talking to him. So just to have that, it just makes everything just good.
Good
man.
supporting cast.
Good supporting cast, man.
Vince got to get locked in.
And then my assistant coaches all played at Mainland too. So it's just.
That's awesome.
This is what it is.
So for like a young player that's listening, they're just debating, what does a coach look at? What does he want me to do? What is the first thing that you look at for like a young up-and-coming player?
first off, I want to know what your grades are going to be like. You know, that's the main thing. Because if you got good grades, I can help you get to college. And just how disciplined you are. You know, I want kids that's going to be disciplined and willing to put in the work. I'm a hard coach. I'm going to coach you hard. You know, you got to be able to have some tough skin because I'm going to coach you hard because I'm going to be demanding.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be demanding because that's life is demanding. You know, that's the way life is going to be. So, you know, if you got you're going to have some thick skin, you know, it is what it is.
There's some practices I was honestly scared to go in.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to lie. Like, I'm serious.
Yeah.
There are some practices where it's like if we I'm trying to remember. There's been so many practices. It was one where it's like a layup drill. And if you didn't make a certain amount of layups.
80 layups in 2 minutes.
That's what it was.
Yeah.
And you would, sorry for the people that aren't watching, but on a basketball court, just the horizontal way, the width, you would have to do, I think you called it fire. I don't know what you did, but it was suicides. And you had to do a certain amount of suicides in that amount of time. It's just, I felt like I could run track after every practice. Like, that's the one thing I was scared of. Every practice. Like, let's just make the 80. Let's just make the layup mark so we don't have to run.
Right. I have days when I come in there and just be different. You know? That's how life is.
That's what Robert and I actually debate about. We're like, does he do this to mess with us?
I do.
Or?
I do.
You got to.
Keep
Keep them on their toes.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
You never want to have it just hey, this is what we do the beginner practice, guys. This is the middle. Yeah, once in a while, throw it out. Get the kids
That's
running.
how life is.
Yeah,
So,
absolutely. Every day is different. Every
Right.
single day. For a championship caliber team, you know, might not have a preference, but some coaches do. Would you rather be a defensive team or an offensive team?
Ooh, because Coach Ham's offensive.
Yeah, he was all offensive.
I was always told this, that offense sell tickets and defense win
Wins
championships.
Mm-hmm.
I went to 3 Final Fours in high school.
Yep.
And it was all off defense.
Okay.
You
There it
know,
is.
so I'm offense is gonna come, but we got to play defense. You know, we got to play defense, and our goal is 40 points a quarter. I'm at 40 points a game, 10 points a quarter. That's our goal. So we fight through that sometimes. Sometimes it don't happen that way, but that's our goal.
Sure.
And I'm a defensive guy. You know, I'm all about defense. My coach is about defense.
And like offensive, if you make a shot, offense doesn't help defense, but your defense can help offense.
Yes.
Like
the
your defense
transition
can give you
game.
easy buckets.
Exactly.
It doesn't work the other way. So
Exactly.
I've always, if I had a choice, I want a defensive-minded team.
Right.
Because if the other team can't score, you're going to win, right? Like
Yes.
you're going to hit a bucket, get a foul shot, 3-point or whatever. But defense creates easy transition.
When I was in high
baskets.
school, I guarded the best player every game.
Yeah,
Every
I
team.
remember you telling me you were the defensive
I
guy.
guarded the best player.
Reese
Even,
Bowen.
even when we had Vince, I guarded the best player, especially if it was a
Wow.
guard.
Okay.
Even I got a guard 6'6", 6'7", but I was the best defensive guys, and that's what we lived off. Our defense, man, it was like we had 7 people on the court, but it was 5. But that's the way we played it.
Yeah.
You know, and what crazy part is that out of our three guys that got their jersey retired, me, Vince, and T.T. Tolliver, all our birthdays right about next to each other. So the chemistry was crazy.
Come on.
My birthday is January 21st. Vince's birthday is 26th. T.T. Tolliver's 31st. So our chemistry was always
Sure.
the same size, the
just
same
in
size.
sync.
It was just sync, and it was crazy, man.
So do you coach differently to like a different group that you have, or it's just your philosophy is your philosophy?
My philosophy, you know, and I think you have to make adjustments according to the team you have. Like with my team right now, I said when I said I'm gonna go to Mainland, we're gonna play full court man to man. That's what we're gonna be. We're gonna be, because that's what I was.
In your jersey.
That's what I was, and I was like, when I saw my kids and our size, I said, Syracuse,
Mm-hmm.
Syracuse, 2-3 length, you know. So
You put Johnny up top in that.
1-2-2.
Yeah. You ran the
Yeah.
zone, and I'm like, okay,
yeah, and see,
Get the 6'8" kid with his arms
Exactly.
out. They
So-
can't get a pass over him.
so you just make adjustments to your team. But like I said, this is what I was gonna be, but I wasn't edge and stone on that. And then once you get your team, you make adjustments to what you have.
That's incredible. Yeah, and your mainland squad is just they blend well together. Like
Right.
their play style complements each other.
Right.
You don't have just.
I got kids from all different schools, and it's just it works out well.
That's awesome. And do you recommend players to play as much as possible? Are you the type of coach just I don't want you to get hurt, like just stick with our practices during like season?
Well, during the season, I think I'm gonna keep them busy enough. You know.
Yeah.
You know, I've had some kids at Creek get hurt playing at the Red. You know, and that.
I was there.
Yeah,
the nastiest injury I've ever seen.
Yeah,
An ankle.
seeing that kind of stuff. I'd rather them, if they want to get in the gym, call me. I'll let them in Mainland gym, and we can do some basketball stuff there.
Yeah.
You know, I think it makes it easier that way. So.
Do you have anything else? Because I want to just get in a couple NBA topics.
Oh yeah, let's do it. I'm with you on that one.
Is there anything else you want to talk about or shout out about your program?
Well, I just like to tell my players if they're watching, parents, say what's up, get some sleep. We got a big game coming up. We're gonna keep working. The Mainland Nation. We need your support. Thank you guys for that's been there, and we're just gonna keep working for you guys.
And where's that game at again?
The game is in Auburndale, 7:00.
Definitely travel. Definitely
Yes.
travel, guys. Get there, support them, support Mainland. They got big things on their horizon.
Yeah,
Big things.
They do.
Yeah.
They do.
Okay.
I'm doing a big tournament next year too, Vince Carter. I'm probably gonna do the Vince Carter Christmas tournament. So
Really?
yeah,
So maybe like a locked-in podcast is there at the tournament. We're doing live
we can do that.
podcasts.
We can do that.
That'd be awesome.
Okay.
Because I'm trying. I don't mean to cut you off, but I'm trying to get
no, it's
Vince to get a couple of his NBA players to sponsor their team to come down. Then make it. I want to blow it. I want to make it big.
We did the same thing.
I want to make it big. So
I just want a free throw competition, a 3-point competition with Vince, because Vince Carter camp, I always wanted that opportunity. I felt like I was the best free throw shooter there, and he just always he beat everybody. I went up against him, but
We did knockout out there. I got you.
I think he'll beat you left-handed.
really, you haven't
Vince
hooped
is
with
a
me in a while.
competitor.
I saw him.
We need to hoop.
Listen,
Talk
man,
about
one
that.
time in high school, he hurt his right wrist at Florida. He hit 7 threes left-handed. So,
Okay, never mind. I just
Yeah,
want just
next
talk to
question.
him. I just want to have a nice conversation. I want to-
I love it.
I want to talk about the All-Star games. Coach, last time I spoke to you, like
awesome
I said,
game.
I'm pro LeBron. I think he's the greatest player of all time.
yeah, he's up there.
That's just my philosophy. He's just an overall best player. He's not the most accomplished yet, but I just think what he does on the court and the way he affects the game.
Chase Tremont would have an argument about that.
Yeah.
He thinks LeBron is more of a.
Never had conversations with him after
Oh,
I heard
you
that.
should.
After
You
I heard
should.
that, I'm like,
he
come
thinks
on now.
LeBron is more like a Shaq.
Which is still an
big
all-time
body,
great.
right? But he's just. But I get what you're saying.
Okay.
You need to get him in here and talk about that.
I would love to get him in here. Actually, I want to announce something now. We have an idea about getting a lot of coaches together, having a roundtable discussion, just about sports in general,
At a mutual spot.
mutual spot,
Howard.
and just
Yeah.
and I'm not just anybody who has any controversies as far as like just high school sports. I just want everyone to get together and just talk about high school sports, talk about programs, talk
Promoting programs.
Yeah.
Right.
Like we want. Like you were talking about, the gyms used to be packed,
Right.
and how Mainland Atlantic's game, the gyms were packed. We want that for when
Everybody.
Mainland plays New Smyrna. We want that one for Atlantic plays Creek. We
But
want
see,
the gyms packed.
I think-
We're trying to promote more for.
Back when I was in
386.
school, the News Journal did a lot more stuff.
The News Journal.
They did a lot more stuff, to promote that. That's why you had the Big Four. You know what I'm saying? I'm doing the Big Four again coming up next season. I'm gonna do the Big Four, but we had the Big Four.
Yeah.
But the News Journal promoted a lot of that stuff.
They
so.
don't anymore, and that's why 386 Hoop Scene kind of got in there a little bit.
I said they were locked up.
Yeah,
They are locked up.
I know the News Journal probably don't have as many people they used to have.
Yeah.
That's probably why. You know what I'm saying? But
We live in
back
an
when we was
era
that's what it
of
was.
social media where if I say, hey, let's hoop at the Rec at 9 p.m., 100 people see that.
Right.
So there shouldn't be any reason why we can't get gyms packed. So what we do is we just get local athletes, local coaches. So our goal is to get everybody on the same page. And every coach has the same thing in common. Let's just entertain people and create young, great men, good basketball games.
Right.
So if everyone has the common goal but just hasn't gotten together necessarily, then I just think that would be an awesome thing to do is just
Be a locked-in event.
yeah, because a lot of people say that, like, Orlando's a tougher area or they're more supportive of the local basketball. And it's like, well, let's just do something now. We're the people who can create a change. So I
Well,
don't see why not.
Orlando we have middle school basketball here.
Mm-hmm.
Orlando have a 6th grade team, a 7th grade team.
Yeah.
They have freshman basketball, JV. So they have a lot more opportunities than
Sure.
we have here. I think they need to bring back 9th grade basketball because like when at Creek, I used to have 50 people try for JV.
I remember.
It's one time 70, but you only can you fight for 15 spots.
Yeah, wow.
If you have a 9th grade team, you have 15 9th graders, then you can do a JV team, then varsity team.
Develop them.
Yeah, there's more development in Orlando, Jacksonville. They have that, and those kids are developing more. You never know who's gonna be. You might cut a kid who might end up being 6'11".
Sure.
So it's
Yeah.
just
Or just
happens.
late bloomers or just
Right.
develop
So
their
I
game, and that's
think
coaching.
that's something we need to really work on. That's why we're behind in some aspects of that.
I think we can get there.
Okay.
A group effort. So back to the NBA.
Let's go. Jump in it.
I forget the All-Star game, actually, at this point. Is it Golden State and the Cleveland Cavaliers?
Nope.
Yeah, our producer Sean has locked in as no, none of them make it. I say you're absolutely nuts. It's the Cleveland Cavaliers and it's the Warriors. He said the Thunder and the Celtics.
I'm gonna tell you this. I really like what Cleveland did with their team.
Yes.
Younger.
I think it's younger. The defense is better, more energy. Even LeBron is a different person with this team. He seems like
chemistry.
Yes, and I think they're going to be tough to beat. You know, as it come down to it, I think right now they might have an edge on Boston. And Toronto's been playing well too, but Toronto.
Did you just say an edge on Boston?
Yeah.
No, we're talking about the Warriors. They're going past Boston. Even LeBron and the old squad.
You're gonna count them past Boston?
No, yeah, because LeBron. If you heard this theory, and I think it's true, it happened. He tanked on purpose because if you have a dysfunctioning team, it gets noticed with the front office. Like, damn, we need to make an adjustment. He's not happy. They're not playing well. If you play well and you're winning games, there's not a sense of urgency as there is when you're doing bad. So that sense of urgency definitely happened, and they made a big trade. And then all of a sudden he's rejuvenated and putting up great numbers. Just happens to be like that. I think you have LeBron James about to go to his 8th straight final. They're going past the Celtics.
Well, George Hill said it all. LeBron needs a bunch of Robins, and not a bunch of Batmans.
Exactly.
So that's what they did in the trade.
My biggest
got
concern.
good role players. A
Right.
basketball team is like a car. Any analogy you want to do, you need tires. You need different
Do
parts
dirty
of the
work.
car. Exactly. So LeBron, he's the driver. He's in control. He is Batman. Now it's George Hill, Clarkson.
Every team has even in high school you have that. They're not like LeBron, but you have that best
guy.
player. That 1 or 2, 3 players. That's the best player, and everybody else just have to. I tell my kids all the time, be a star of your role.
Yeah.
If you're a star of your role, it makes stuff happen. I think LeBron has some stars around his role.
That's a great point.
I'm going to write down every saying you have.
So,
It flies to life.
Yeah, star of your role. I like this.
But my concern against the Warriors is, does he have a passenger with him? Kevin Love can't get a bucket by himself. Like in a guard-oriented league, you need somebody like a Paul George. I just think this team is equipped to go to the finals and put up a better chance, but I don't know if they have enough to beat the Warriors. He averaged 33 points in a triple-double and didn't beat them.
Do they have enough offense?
Yeah, I don't think they have another guy to get you a bucket. Rodney Hood's good, but when you have Klay Thompson on the wing defending you or Kevin Durant, it's just I think the Warriors are just star-studded, obviously. In Cleveland, I'm hoping they win in the 7-game series.
The Warriors' bench is not as good as it was.
Iggy's old. Iggy's old.
Their bench is not as good as it was in the past, and I think if they get past Houston,
So they pose a serious threat to the Warriors?
He gets past
if they get past Houston.
Houston and the Thunder have a legitimate shot against
And
Golden
the
State.
Thunder has been playing very well too, man.
And Thunder plays up to their level. Like
Right.
the Thunder, they play really bad against the Pacers. That's just who they are, right?
Yes.
They play bad against the Bucks. But when they play the Rockets and they play
Warriors.
the Warriors and the Cavs,
They done beat them
play
twice.
really, really good ball.
Yeah, we debated.
And they match up with them.
Yeah.
They really do match up with the Warriors.
We debated back and forth. I don't think you could beat the Warriors in their own game. That's why I don't think Houston will beat them. But the Thunder don't try to beat them in their own game. They're
No.
big and they're physical. How
Right.
Cleveland beat them that one
Bully
year.
them down low.
Right.
You have Adams. You have Paul George who matches up with KD. You
And-
have Westbrook.
And that year, one year, OKC should have beat them by pounding them
Yeah.
inside.
Yeah.
So I think Thunder posed a serious threat. But it's Warriors, Cavs, right?
Nah, I don't know. I think the Cavs are going to come out of the East because they have LeBron.
Yes.
Without a doubt. But what Houston has going on right now, man, it's going to be tough, man. Like I said, I think that Golden State has the best offense ever. But their bench is not as deep as it's been in the past.
That's true.
And I think that's going to be a problem. I think Houston they just got Joe Johnson.
Yeah.
So
Another bench
clutch
score.
Yeah, exactly. Guy that can score. So and that can shoot.
Yeah.
And they shoot the 3 ball just like Golden State Warriors.
And the Warriors
too.
never had a tough road to the playoffs. Everyone's
Very
injured.
true.
So
Right.
if Houston
Very true.
stays healthy and then you get banged up, that's when you need the bench.
The worst part is, guys, if Golden State, if they get the 1 spot and the Thunder's the 4, they're going to have to play the Thunder 1 versus 4, and then
That's
why
they're gonna
LeBron
have to
may not
play
go
Houston. I'm telling you, guys, like Cleveland has a easier road to the finals than Golden State. If those two teams get there, I think Golden State beats the Cavs again. Without Hood, Love. I love their team. I don't know if they can beat the Warriors, but I got a good shot. I think the Rockets or the Thunder can upset them. I'm telling you.
And if they go, do the Cavs beat either of them?
Yes, the
Yes.
Cavs beat the
Okay.
Thunder or Rockets.
I'm good. If LeBron wins a championship this year with this team, he's the GOAT.
Living in the moment.
4 rings, and you're beating star-studded teams with your Kevin Love is an all-star, but compared
The
to
argument gets closer.
You mean GOAT like better than Michael Jordan?
Yeah.
Bill
Yes.
Russell.
yes,
Bill Russell and all those guys?
yes,
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar,
Michael Jordan will always have rings on him,
Vince Carter.
but LeBron is just a better overall player. Guards 1 through 5, elevates others, can pass better, plays defense better. He can score better.
So is he a Magic Johnson really?
Yeah, a better version of Magic Johnson, who I
Okay.
have number 3.
A better version of Magic Johnson who's not better than Michael Jordan? Which one is it?
But if better version of Magic Johnson would be
I don't know. Like what?
I have LeBron, Jordan, Magic.
All right, you guys were talking about the Batman Robin type thing. So
Yeah.
when LeBron went to Miami and he had Wade and Bosh, were they more of a Robin type character in that sense, or does he need a Wade type character or player with him?
I think that situation was more like when you had Paul Pierce, Kevin Garnett, and Ray Allen.
Yeah.
I think that kind of was the same kind of situation. Everybody knew
The
their
original
role.
Big Three.
It was like the
Everybody knew their
Infinity-
role.
It was like the
Right.
Marvel, the Avengers. There wasn't really a Batman and a Robin. It was more all three that
Yeah.
were top
Yeah,
tier.
But
all,
now-
all,
but now he-
all
now
of
he
them were
doesn't.
good in their position. But when the team that LeBron had at Cleveland before it was just a bunch of mess.
Yeah.
It was just a mess, and sometimes some people are not good for the locker room,
Sure.
which that can be really bad.
Right, but if he has too many Robins and not enough, like, do you think he might not have enough support with?
That's what my concern is.
Right.
He doesn't have another guy to get him a bucket.
And that's a good question. It's a good concern. I don't think so. I think Kevin Love's underratedly a really good player. He's
Just
a
not good
great
defensively.
Batman. Well, you need him to score, and when it's defensive terms, that's when you put in Larry Nance. That's when you can even put LeBron even at the 4 or 5 because
Yeah, you
Golden
could.
State's not going to beat you down low. LeBron can play
Zaza's a
5
bum.
and just have Jeff Greens and
Jeff Green's a big
Clarkson's-
pickup too because he's 6'9".
and just plays
Me personally, I think that
Start him.
Cleveland, the way they can keep this chemistry up in the next couple of games, I think they're gonna make a run, and I think they can beat a team from the West, even if it's Golden State. And the reason why I say that because
I take it.
LeBron, he can play, like you said, he can play different positions. So with Larry Nance, who's a defensive guy, he can guard Klay Thompson or on the pick and roll.
on the switch.
When on the switch, he can guard that guy for a few steps here and there. So I think their trade they made is going to make them legit.
I like it. I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take it. I'll argue this is a better team than when Kyrie Irving was on it. Kyrie Irving is by far the second best player on the court, but just defensively they match up better with the Warriors.
I agree with that. It's different. It is
Yeah, but when
different.
you have some-
Kyrie's easily by far better than any player on this team right now.
Yeah.
But Coach Joe has been calling out the Warriors bench. He said it 3-4 times. That's alarming. It's a 48-minute game, and I think those at the end of the first and at the top of the second, we were watching every finals game. Cleveland, when LeBron sat down, they were just
Terrible.
-10, -8. So they would be close with them or have a 3,
Right.
4 point lead. Golden State would take over. Now, with Clarkson coming in, Korver coming in off the bench hitting a 3, Nance coming in for Tristan. If they just play even with Golden State's bench or even be better than Golden State's bench and take a 2, 3, 4 point lead, that goes a long way.
And George Hill has playoff experience too.
I hope
Really
you guys
good
are right.
playoff.
I really do. I hope you're right.
I
It
love
helps
this
my
team. I
case.
like this
I think I like this team too.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot better than what he had, and I think but in the East and West, it's just totally different.
Yeah.
That West is tough.
Last question for you. Does LeBron stay in Cleveland in free agency or does he go? Be my last one. Before we get locked in.
I think he I think he should stay.
I think he should too.
I think he stay. I think he could mess up his legacy, especially if he try to go join
The West.
Houston. But some people have been saying maybe he should go to Spurs and play for
If you want to
the
win, go to
best
the
coach,
Spurs.
the best coach in the NBA.
Like, are you on? Is your legacy tarnished if you don't go to the finals anymore in the West? Like, you lose in the playoffs, but don't lose anymore in the finals, or is it better to go to the finals and lose? I would say go to the finals and lose is better on your legacy because Why are you getting downgraded by finishing second? You'd rather finish 7th or 6th than second?
I think if he go to the finals, he gonna have to win, not lose.
I know. If he loses, I kind of lose my argument with Michael Jordan. But if he wins, he's the GOAT.
The producer had a really good question, good point, especially with a coach in the building. He thinks probably Golden State's biggest a plus or differential is the coaching staff. Steve Kerr, Coach Brown for Golden State's a great defensive-minded coach.
Yeah.
You know, Ty Lue, we don't know how good of a coach he is, really. It's LeBron's team. You know, it's horrible to say that. Spoelstra, with Miami, he's been a good coach before LeBron and after LeBron. We don't know about Tyronn Lue, so maybe the difference is coaching.
Well, maybe the difference is LeBron coached the team.
That is true. One of the best coaches out there.
Bill Russell did it, so he's just trying to do what Bill Russell did.
Exactly. You know,
great point.
LeBron, you know, people say, I know he's a freak athlete, but he also thinks the game.
Oh.
And he has very high basketball IQ, so I'm sure he makes adjustments. I talk to the coach about certain stuff can happen too. So,
but could that cause a problem though if he's like overstepping Tyronn Lue?
I don't think so. I think as a coach, you know, I like me, if I have a player on the court and I know he sees stuff, I'm gonna listen to him. Hey, coach, this might be working. You know what? All right, let's try that. You know. Then if it don't work, then I make my adjustment. But
and if a freshman kid saying to coach for the first time, first game, maybe not. But if it's one of your veteran players like LeBron, he's been in the league for 15 years, guys. He's seen it all, been through it all. If he says, hey, we got to go to a zone maybe real quick against Golden State, they'll try it.
Right.
So he's developed that trust.
He's developed that.
All right, it's time to get locked in.
Yeah, I'm ready.
Yeah, you go first.
All right, mine's good again. My locked-ins have been awesome lately. I think the next 5 years, easily the best rival in the 386, the hoop scene, Atlantic versus Mainland. Every single time, Coach Howard, Coach Giddens, packed gym. It's going to be the best rival back and forth. Mainland's got 2-0 on them.
Yeah,
they won 2-0 on them this year, so we'll see, right?
If that first game was in another building, it would look even more packed. Mainland's gym is just that big.
Yeah.
And the fact that was packed,
packed.
Like, it's
they say that's the first time the gym has been like that since I played.
That's awesome.
Because they had people upstairs, too. So
you're the common denominator here.
There it is.
Coach, all right. Do you want to go, Coach, or you want me to go?
Go ahead.
All right.
You clicked the mic.
All right. Am I back on?
Yeah, you're back on.
I caught on to it.
Yeah.
Good thing I had these headphones.
There you go. Well, I heard it, but
I have Mainland basketball beating the team they play in the first round at Lauderdale, right? And they win the first round.
Arbondale.
They beat them, and then we'll go from there. I think I would love to have you in the studio again. So that would be my locked in. You get past that first round of regionals and go to the second round, and then from then on, it's just more locked ins to come.
Yeah,
right.
You got to win one. You got to win the first one.
Yeah, I think Coach hit it right on the head. If you have the mentality, it doesn't matter who you play, you can win. And I think the mentality is definitely set. The culture is changing, and I don't see any reason why you can't win that game.
I'm gonna tell you this. Before I got here today, my players were texting me, Coach, they run this. We can do this. They do this. So that's when I know they've been watching film and studying. You know, so that shows me that they buying in and they want it. They locked in and they want it. There you go. They locked in and they want it. See, I know that
Mainland Bucks are locked in.
I know they want it. I'll tell you this. One of my former players had one of the guy who played with me named Desmond Long. He told the kids, lock on, don't. What he told them? Lock in, lock on, and don't let go. He gave my players a speech to that before we played Atlanta in the first game. Lock in, lock on, and don't let go.
He knows me somehow.
Hey, his name is Desmond Long. He played with me. He was on our state championship team. Lock in, lock on, don't let go. That was his speech to my guys.
That's what happened. You locked in right away, took an early lead, and then you locked on, and you held on.
That's what happened. And he told us that both games we played Atlanta.
It happened both times. All right, you got it locked in, Coach?
I said locked in. I say in 7 years, I'm going to be a college basketball coach.
I like
it. We talked to Coach Gaines about this, and I didn't want to bring it up because I felt like I put him on the spot. 7 years. I like that.
Or less.
Oh, that's perfect.
Or less.
I love it.
I like
Is there a dream spot for you in college?
God, I go another hour on this.
Do you like an SEC school? Do you like an ACC school?
You know what?
What they're doing over there in that, North Carolina?
I just want the opportunity.
Yeah. Okay.
Once I get opportunity, wherever it's at, I take the best of it.
Locally, does it matter?
Doesn't matter. Just
I like
take advantage of it.
Yeah. Get your foot in the door and just knock it down.
Yeah, once I get my foot in the door, I tell you this, I'm blessed, man. I'm blessed. And I've been able to do what I got great support from my wife and my family, you know, and the school, Mainland, they support me, so I can't go nowhere but up. I'm just going to keep riding.
Wow.
That's awesome.
That's good.
I love it. Thank you, Coach, so much for stopping by.
Hey, man,
You're
I
always
appreciate
welcome.
Hey, man, I appreciate it.
And to find us on Locked In case you're a first-time listener, Locked In with 2 N's is on Apple Podcast. Or if you have an Android, by the way, Apple Podcast is that purple app that says podcast. Apple Podcast. And then if you have an Android, it's called Stitcher Radio.
Yep. We're
And
on
then-
Facebook, Locked In with 2 N's. Download, subscribe, support Mainland Bucks, guys. Get out there.
That's right.
The Facebook community, right?
That you like the page.
You like
and
the page.
And join the community where we all can talk
Debate
and discuss.
LeBron,
And,
Jordan.
yeah,
that kind of
we
thing,
can
right?
promote all the local teams that we've been promoting lately. And we can
All
all
2,500 of my friends on Facebook.
Yeah.
Get on Locked In.
Thank
we
you.
go.
And then if
There we
you want
go.
to come on, just hit us up, and that seat is open for everybody. So thank you guys for listening, and like always, stay locked in.
Yeah, you now locked in with the best. We ain't rocking with the rest. And when it's game time, we gon' put you to the test. Come the ball, we hitting it, kicking it, or we dribbling, passing it, or we running, or it's the ring that we flip you in. So what's the news? You want the scoop? You gotta keep it locked. To David Max podcast through your speaker box. What's poppin', my friend? You know the drop in. And the only thing left to do is keep it locked in.